Hey, happy Monday, everyone. It's Meredith. I'm here with our message for the 21st of March, 2022. Happy spring. Spring equinox was yesterday at 11:33 in my time zone. Great numbers. And hello, Aries. It's now Aries season. Happy birthday, Aries. Okay, let's get into our reading today. Just so you know, I went diving into the depths of the tarot cupboard and pulled out a few decks that haven't seen the light of day in a while. Two of them are on the table at the moment, and you'll be seeing more in days to come. We do have the light seers for the body of the message today. That one was just calling to me, and it's a gorgeous deck anyway. We love it. All right, let's get into it. From the Whispers of Love deck, the question put to the deck was, how is our soulful presence speaking with us today? How are we being informed by our soulful presence? We had 3 cards come out of the shuffle there. So our soulful presence is a bit wordy today, right? Our first is, consider your foundation. That's something we talk a lot about here. You are being asked to look at how committed you are to love. Ooh, nice one. How is your foundation of love, self-care, self-nurture? What do you have to offer from your foundation as a result in investing in your own happiness? Nice. Okay, next one. Spend some quality time together. Sweet. It's important that we spend quality time with those we are in significant relationships with, listening and speaking with each other. That's a good nod to the Communicate Clearly card out of Angel Answers, wouldn't you say? And I feel, speak from the heart. Go right to the heart of the matter. That's a message we've actually been getting for a little while now. Next. Have faith. Trust your faith in this situation. So some of us might be teetering with, vulture thoughts. Go right to your heart center. Go right to faith for the dream you have for yourself. I'm also feeling here to trust what's unfolding in the moment, even if it looks, well, as a dear soul I know says, embrace the horror, right? So occasionally we do have to embrace the horror as something emerges on our gorgeous foundation, because we're having energy break through perhaps an old thought, old belief system, old programming, and that can look kind of messy as it's emerging, right? All right, from what deck is this? The Shaman's Dream. What I asked on this deck in the shuffle was, what kind of magic are we making today? What's on offer to us? And we have Netcaster. Preparations come to fruition. Ooh, gorgeous. See, there it is. There's a bit of emergence there. We've cast a net for our dreams, for the vision we have, for our unfolding moments, and we're pulling in that net that we cast, and there's a whole lot of beauty in there. It may upset the apple cart though as it comes in, as we draw it in, because we've got to make space for the very things we've manifested for, the very things that we are creating. My overall feeling here is, go ahead, make a mess, get dirty. You can clean it all up later, right? Okay, let's get into Lightseer's Tarot, our first card. Oh, there we go, 8 of Swords. Nice card. As I'm looking at it, as I'm feeling the card, I feel that we have set ourselves free. Typically, this is a person who's bound up in the way that they're thinking, and they're awaiting rescue from beyond themselves, and rescue comes at our own hands. If we've gotten ourselves tangled up in an energy, old thoughts, old belief system, just like we're talking about over here on the Have Faith card, only we can untangle those knots. Only we can untangle the net we cast, right? And I feel that the Eight of Swords is not so indicative today of being stuck or tangled up in our own net. I feel that we're free of entanglement. And this Eight of Swords is a reminder of how we moved through energy that felt less than ideal, while simultaneously we were creating a whole new life experience on our foundation. Let's see what's next. We had 3 come out in this position. We have the Knight of Cups. So here we go. We've got movement in the 8. All 8s in tarot move energy. So there's no stagnation here at all. Then we have the Knight of Cups, who carries the Ace of Cups. He brings a message of love. Wow, there is a really big fat cat walking through the driveway at the moment. Sorry, cat energy, divine feminine. It just drew my attention. Maybe look up cat spirit for yourself. All right, Knight of Cups. It's energy in motion. Knights move energy between cards. And this is confirmation for me that we've moved beyond this Eight of Swords. I also feel like we're in consideration of the Eight of Swords, so that we have a conscious reminder of how we may have tied ourselves up in knots, and then eventually saw how we did that and untangled all of that energy too. This is what I feel. It's positive reinforcement within the journey. Next, oh gosh, look at this. Knight of Cups, 10 of Cups. So see how we've moved the energy into the 10 of Cups, which is the Ace of Cups, to the power of 10. That's overflowing, abundant, love, bliss, joy, and happiness. It is a fulfillment card. And some of us, I feel, never saw that coming. You know, we're blindfolded over there on the Eight of Swords, and we may not have necessarily seen how important the entanglements we found ourselves in were at the time. So we may have felt held back. We may have felt stuck or stagnant in some way. And I sense that that was universal nurturing, so that we did not move so rapidly through energies that we found less than ideal. There was something really important to glean from the pace at which energies were unfolding and being entangled, so that we could see the mess for what it was and foster deeper faith while we were maybe even weaving a net that we cast to pull in our dreams, our goals, our intentions, the happiness that we vision for our foundation, right? Excellent. So this is what we've created out of that. It's worth the journey, isn't it? So when we look back in hindsight, we can say, wow, I really can see how this Eight of Swords was so important to that particular leg of the journey, even though while you were in it, you were probably cursing and spitting nails to some degree. And then we have, this is awesome. This has happened more than once recently. We have the 10 of Coins coming with the 10 of Cups. Yeah. So this is the legacy that we're creating for ourselves. We're layering this on. Every time I see the 10 of Coins, I feel we have added another deeper layer to our foundation of joy and happiness. So this is multi-generational families. I see it as a legacy of our own self-love building on our foundation. So we stay in motion with that. Thank you, Knight of Cups. And we continue to foster the love, bliss, joy, and happiness to the power of 10 off the 10 of Cups. And it's all thanks to having a lack of faith at times, doubt in the journey, which helped us foster greater faith eventually. It's all because we cast a net that did get tangled up, and it was worth it as well. And it strengthened our foundation. So we had so much more to offer ourselves, and in turn, so much more to offer our sphere of influence. And it continues to create this joy right in the center of the reading. And this is what we are in motion with. This is how the energy is flowing through us. We are giving and receiving simultaneously. Then we have, nice, Nine of Wands. Wow, I'm seeing that card very differently in these moments. Gosh, the intuition is like lightning. I know the traditional meaning of the card, though it's not what I feel as I'm looking at it. The wands are fire, creativity, passion, enthusiasm, skill, and talent, and all of our will, right? Then the 9 here is traditionally a message about having endurance for the journey. And while I do feel that is present, what I'm actually looking at here is that we reached a point within self-relationship that the 9 of Wands is speaking to the 8 of Swords and saying the buck stops here. Look at all this wand energy. That's the Ace of Wands to the power of 9, right? So that's all the fire, passion, creativity, the drive, the will, the enthusiasm, all of that in these wands. And we could allow the 8 of Swords to whisper the old story of perceived, emphasizing perceived mistake or failure. And the wands are saying, really, the buck stops here. Take a look at how you may have felt held back, held up, stagnated, stuck by old thoughts, but you freed yourself from that to move deeper into the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Coins. So how long are you going to invest in the 8 of Swords? How long were you going to donate your potential to an old tale and allow the ego to rule the journey? As I've shared with you, I am a fan of the ego. It has a purpose. It has a real message for us, though. It's a bit like a tantruming 2-year-old. The ego isn't getting what it wants when it wants it, so there's a tantrum that follows that. How long are we going to stay there? This is a point at which, in the 8 of Swords, we recognize how we go off the path and we delve into the ego tantrums. How long do we want to stay there? And the cards are really reminding us that we pulled ourselves out of it. And we know that with the 9 of Swords, we do have the endurance for the journey. Just how long do you want to stay out there in the bush? Tangled up in knots. So if you're finding yourself there, recognize in the center of the reading that that you're creating this Knight of Cups, 10 of Cups, 10 of Coins on your foundation. Ask yourself, what's worthy of my attention in these moments? How important is this entanglement in my mind? How is it serving me? What is it gifting and blessing me with? And there's your doorway. What's the blessing? What's the gift? What is the silver lining if you find yourself in the 8 of Swords? It's the quickest way to disentangle oneself and move into the celebration of these gorgeous energies. So some of us are making this statement to ourselves today. The buck stops here. I'm done with this entanglement, and I'm done donating my joy and my happiness to whatever your 8 of Swords experience is. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck for us today. We have a Magician. Yeah. What magic are you making? You've cast a net and you're pulling that net in. So gratitude, appreciation even for the 8 of Swords for helping us get our hands dirty in the process. And remember that the cards from the bottom of the deck come to us from the unseen. There really is something we don't see coming, though it is part of the loving conversation that goes on between ourselves and the divine all. Our soulful presence even whispering to us. Then we have, look at that. Death card. Hello, Scorpio. Transformation is at hand. This is happening. We have a glimpse. Just take a look at the art on this card. We have a vision. We have a glimpse of what's unfolding in our 10 of Cups, 10 of Coins, Knight of Cups. It's what gives us the strength to stand there with the 9 wands and say, look at all I have cultivated here. all this raw enthusiasm, happiness, passion, right, on my foundation. So thank you very much, Eight of Swords, because you've helped create this, and that's the magic that's emerging for us. Oh my goodness, and look at this. There's our very pregnant Empress, you know, giving birth to a whole new world of opportunity on our foundation. And look what's underneath this. I love this combination. I love seeing this happen. It's happened a few times over the past year where the Empress comes out with the Ace of Cups, which is love, bliss, joy, and happiness on overflow. But I really see this as the Empress, her water breaking. You know, the dam breaks and in comes everything that we've held in heart space. And yeah, it does make a little bit of a mess of the foundation, but it's one we can be in appreciation for because we created it. It's what's getting us to this experience of fulfillment, bringing us out of old stories, habits, ways of being, doing, speaking over our lives that prevent us from actually taking a stand and saying, enough is enough. Thank you for the lesson. Integrate the lessons and appreciate them and invest them into the totality of your happiness. Love that. Okay, what's next? Angel answers. These cards bring confirmation for us. They answer questions. So if you've got one, put them to the cards. And falling out of the deck, we have romance. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, because being the greatest love of our own life is what creates the 10 of Cups, 10 of Coins. This card feels like divine union, divine connection within self. So you know what that translates to. That translates to the happiness on our foundation. It's how we give, receive, stay in the spirit of reciprocity, and really enjoy the heck out of our earthly experience. Beautiful card. We haven't seen this one in a while. No need to worry. No, there isn't. We did that over here. Again, confirmation of liberating ourselves from the Eight of Swords. Very nice. Remain positive. That's right. That's the investment. Invest your happiness in this energy that is before you. Give yourself a reset, a reality check. Where are your thoughts drifting? And do notice that they drift. You can make conscious choices and consider things in a whole brand new way. You don't have to go the well-worn path of the Eight of Swords. Just because it's familiar does not necessarily mean that it is helpful. Oh, nice. This has quickly become one of my favorites in the deck too. Look for a sign. The signs are absolutely everywhere. And I believe that the signs are indicative of a great sense of humor on behalf of the universe. So take a look at what's in your net. You cast it, now you're pulling it in, and look for the signs that are there. Next, last, what do we have? We have angels and ancestors. I'm just going to pull one from the top of the deck. And we have Lord. In this oracle deck, he is the equivalent of the Emperor for me. And his message is take charge with authority. Yeah, so in essence, we've got the Emperor and the Empress here in the reading. And they are helping us give birth to our greatest romance ever, which is self-relationship. So thank you everyone for being here with me. Have a beautiful Monday. Again, happy spring, happy Aries season. Love, bliss, joy, happiness to each and every one of you. Namaste.